Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 5, International Class of Mathematics Education 2019. In this occasion, we will present about empirical analysis of test items. The members of Group 5 is me. My name is Ernita. My student number is 410-141-9024. And also my friends is Muntafihun. His student number is 410-141-9034. Okay, in this discussion, we will discuss about 4 parts. In the first is introduction of item analysis and empirical analysis. Second part is about classical test theory. The third part is item response theory. And the last part is strengths and weaknesses. Okay, the first part is introduction. Introduction of item analysis. According to Nitko AG in his book, Educational Assessment of Students, item analysis is an evaluation activity carried out by the teacher on the result of the implementation of a test to determine whether the questions or items given are of good quality. Empirically, item analysis techniques are carried out in 2 ways, namely, the first one is classical test theory, and the second is item response theory. Okay, next I will explain about classical test theory. Classical test theory. Classical theory is a measurement theory that has been developed and applied for a long time in various fields of life. The advantage of classical test theory lies in its easy to understand concepts and its use in small-scale tests. The core of classical test theory is in the form of mathematically formulated assumptions whose model is called the true score model. Classical test theory assumes that everyone has the correct value, which will be obtained if there is no error in the measurement. There are 5 assumptions used in classical test theory. The assumptions of classical test theory are developed in various formulas that are useful in making psychological measurements. These formulas include, the first one is difficulty level. The difficulty level of an item is expressed by an index called the item difficulty index and is symbolized by the letter P. The difficulty level of the questions is the proportion of the number of test takers who answer correctly on an item, namely the ratio between the number of test takers who answer correctly and the total number of test takers. The item difficulty level, as stated by Blaircombe, is proportion of students who answer the item correctly. The value of the item difficulty level is between 0 to 1. Next, the easy size of the question is seen from the p-value. If the p-value is low, the question is getting more difficult. On the other hand, if the p-value is high, it shows the question is easy. An easy and commonly used way to determine the p-value is the average scale or the proportion of correct answer, p, which is the number of test takers who answer correctly on the analyzed questions compared to all test participants. The price of the item difficulty level on the test kit can be determined by the following formula. Pi equal B over T. Notes, Pi is item difficulty level, B is the number of test takers who answer the questions correctly, and T is the number of test takers who work on the questions. This is table 1, difficulty category. From difficulty level P greater than 0,7, the category is easy. If P greater than or equal 0,3 and P less than or equal 0,7, the category is currently And if P less than 0,3, the category is hard. In general, it can be concluded that the higher the difficulty index, the easier the items. On the contrary, the lower the difficulty index, the more difficult the items. Okay, this is table 1A, the example of analysis of test items in difficulty category. Suppose we have to analyze a result of tests from 5 students. There are Rima, Andi, Joko, Dina, and Bica. They have to end their exam, and this is the result. Rima, the total score of Rima is 3. The total score Andi is 3. Joko is total score is 4. Dina is total score is 3, and Bica is total score is 2. And from this table, we can calculate first the total of every number. In here, if we see in the number 1, the total students can answer correctly is 2. In the number 2, the correct answer is 4. In number 3, the correct answer is 3. In the number 4, correct answer is 3 students. And in number 5, the correct answer is also 3 students. And from the previous formula, we can calculate the difficulty category in this analysis test items by the formula PI equal B over T. And we get in the number 1, the difficulty category in number is 0,4. In the number 2, difficulty category in number is 0,8. And from number 3 till 5, the difficulty category number is same. That is 0,6. That is 0,6. And the interpretation of this result of difficulty category is number 1 is currently, number 2 is easy, and number 3 till number 5 is currently. This analysis is used to analyze the multiple choice of the test. Okay, next, this is the second formulas of classical test theory. Distinguishing power. Distinguishing power or distinguishing power of a question serves to determine whether or not a question can distinguish groups in the aspects they are measured according to the differences that exist in the group. The item discriminatory index is basically an index on the items that can distinguish students who get high scores from students who get low scores. The discriminatory power index is determined from the difference in the proportions of respondents from each group. We have the formula of dP equal B high over T high minus B low over T low. Note dP is distinguishing power. B high or low is the number of high or low test takers who answered the questions correctly, and T high or low is the number of high or low test takers who worked on the questions. And for the information, the difference power index classically lies between negative 1,0 to positive 1,0. Next, this is table 2 or second table of category of acceptance of different power items. If the different power index from 0,4 till 1, the category is very good. If the different power index is 0,3 till 0,39, the category is pretty good or needs improvement. If the different power index is 0,2 till 0,29, the category is not satisfactory and needs to be fixed. And if the different power index is negative 1,0 till 0,19, the category is bad and should be thrown away. And this is the table 2 for the example of analysis of item test using different power items. If we will use the different power items formulas, we must to divide it, the class into two. The first one is the high class and the second one is lower class. In the high class, we can state that in the high class is the students that have a high score. Or in this table, I located five students with a high score in the table blue and 5 students in the low score in the yellow table. Okay, from the number 5 till from the number 1 till 5, this is some rank of students, and the question number and weight, this is 5. There are 5 question number and the weight is 1 in every number. And this is in the right areas is the total of every student is score. And also in every bottom of table, there are total high class and total lower class. And the DP, we can calculate DP by using the previous formula. It is B high over T high minus B low over T low. And we get from the question number 1, the DP is 0,2. From question number 2, the DP is 0,4. From the question number 3, the DP is 0,4. Question number 4, the DP is 0,4. And the last question number 5, the DP is 0,6. From this result of analysis using different power items, we get the interpretation that the number 1 is not satisfactory and needs to be fixed. The number 2 till number 5 are very good. Next, the third formulas of classical test theory is deterrence function. The distractor analysis provides information on how many students in the upper and lower groups choose each option on multiple choice items. One purpose of the analysis of questions is to find out about the distribution of the subject is answer to the available alternative answer. Through the distribution of answers can be known, first, the number of test takers who answer correctly, then distractors who were not selected by low ability test takers. Next is misleading distractor, and last is a distractor that becomes an attraction for participants who low ability. A distractor is said to be good if it has a negative B-serial point correlation value. A negative score indicates that students with low abilities tend to choose the distractor as an answer, whereas students with high abilities will choose the answer K as the answer. In addition, each answer choice must be chosen by at least 5% of students. Meanwhile, Miller states that distractors are said to be effective if they are chosen by at least 2% of students. Next is reliability. Reliability is the determination or consistency of a test when tested on the same subject. The test is said to have high reliability, or there is a high correlation between the result of the first test and the result of the second test, if the test scores are the same. If there is no relationship between the result of the first test and the result of the second test, or the relationship is low, then the test is said to be unreliable. Okay, the last formulas of classical test theory is measurement error. Measurement error or standard error of measurement helps test users in understanding random errors that affect a test taker's score in the implementation of the test. The measurement error can be calculated by the following formula. SEM or standard error of measurement equal standard deviation of the total score times the root of 1 minus reliability coefficient. The characteristic of the items with the classical approach above have basic limitation. And there are two basic limitations of classical test theory. First, the parameter estimation results depend on the characteristic of the examinees or dependent group. This implies that the level of difficulty of the questions will be low if the test is tested on a group of high ability test takers. On the contrary, if the test is tested on participants with low ability, the level of difficulty of the test will be high. Second, the result of the estimation of participants' abilities depend on the characteristic of the items or dependent items. This limitation causes the estimated ability of participants to be low if the questions given are above their abilities. Overcoming various weaknesses in classical test theory, measurement experts develop a modern test theory model or item response theory. Okay, the next material will be present by Muntabihun. Please, Muntabihun, time is yours.
Okay, thank you. For the next, I will explain about the item response theory or IRT. The item response theory. Based on the weaknesses of the classical test theory, a new test theory was developed, namely the modern test theory or item response theory, IRT, which was first introduced by Lord in his dissertation in 1952. The main purpose of IRT is to provide similarities between the test statistics and ability estimation. In general, the item response theory uses a logistic distribution model. Several logistic models in item response theory, including a one-parameter logistic model determined by one item characteristic, namely the level of difficulty. 2. A two-parameter logistic model determined by two item characteristics, namely the level of difficulty and discriminating power. And 3. A triple logistic model. Parameters are determined by three characteristics of the item, namely the level of difficulty, discriminating power, and guessing factor. Next, the two-parameter logistic model use the formula Pi theta equal to exponent of dAi theta minus Pi over 1 plus exponent of dAi times theta minus Pi, where I is from 1, 2, 3 up to n, and Pi theta is the probability of answering item I correctly by participant theta capable. For theta is the participant's ability. E is transcendent number whose magnitude is close to 2.718. And n is number of items in the test. AI distinguishing power of the item I. Bi is the item difficulty level I, and D is the scale factor 1.7. Next, the aspects of characteristic of items that need to be considered in item response theory is A, difficulty level, B, power difference, C, goodness of fit statistic, D, information function, and E, standard error measurement or SEM. Next. First is difficulty level. In item response theory, the difficulty index B is the same matrix as skill or trait. Items that have a high level of difficulty have a difficult index of difficulty. According to Hambleton and Swaminathan, a good difficulty index is between -2 till +2. B. Power difference. High discriminatory power can be interpreted that the item can discriminate between examinees at various levels. In the item response theory, A as a symbol of the discriminative power index is a measurement of the discriminative power of the grains. The index is sometimes called the slope because it shows how sharply the likelihood of a correct answer changing, such as an ability or trait increase. In the classical test theory and good item response theory, a higher discriminatory value indicates a greater good discrimination index. According to Hambleton and Swaminathan, the difference power index is between 0 to 2. See, the aspect is goodness of fit statistics. IRT can be realized only if there is a match between the model used and the test data. The suitability of an item with the model can be seen from the chi-squared value of the item compared to the critical price of the chi-squared distribution. According to the TF, or degree of freedom of the item, concerned at a significance level of A equal to 0.01 or A equal to 0.05. Items are said to fit the model if the chi-squared value of the item is smaller than the chi-squared distribution value at its critical value. The next aspect is information function. In the analysis of modern test theory, it can be seen with the function of test information and the ability students. The test information function is the sum of the information functions of all items on the test at the ability level theta. According to Telly S. Dragon, test information function will vary according to value of theta. At a certain value, at a certain value of theta, the value of the information function reaches its maximum. The maximum point means that if the item is done by the participant with the theta, the highest information will be obtained. In the two-parameter logistic model, the item information function satisfies the following equation. I theta equal to d square a square exponent of dA times theta minus b power 1 plus exponent of dA theta minus b squared. And where the d here is constanta 0.7, theta is the ability scale, E is the number 2.718 to 8, A is the item discrepancy, B is the item difficulty level. The next is standard error measurement. The error measurement, according to item response theory, is expressed by SAM whose magnitude depends on person's level of ability and the function of the test information. The existence of errors inherent in the measurement data is caused by many factors, including the measuring instrument itself, the implementation of the measurement, the object of measurement, and the analytical technique used. The information function with the standard error of measurement has an inversely quadratic relationship. The larger the value of the information function means the smaller the sum and vice versa. If the information function is expressed by I theta and the standard error of measurement is expressed by sem theta, the form of the relationship between the two is formulated as follows. Sem theta is equal to 1 over the square root of I theta. And the next is the strengths and weaknesses of the theories. The first is strengths and weaknesses of classical test theory. The strengths of classical test theory are using simple concepts to determine the ability of test takers, using simple concepts in calculating test validity and reliability coefficients, and calculating item parameter values. Next, can be used on small samples, for example, at the class level. And the last has been used in practical measurement and testing for a long time, so that it has been known and understood by most people who are involved in or related to the work of education and psychology. For the weaknesses of classical test theory are: first, the ability of test takers is expressed in discrete variables. And second, the magnitude of the validity and reliability coefficients of a test and the parameter value of an item depends on the test taker who is subjected to a test. Or the next is the strength and weaknesses of item response theory. For the strengths of item response theory are: first, a better theoretical basis than classical test theory. Second, the ability of test taker is expressed in uncontinuous. The third, no parallel test is needed for calculating the reliability coefficient, which in modern test theory is called the information function. And the fourth, the magnitude of the reliability coefficient of a test and the parameter value of an item does not depend on the test taker who is subjected to a test. For the weaknesses, the first is it requires a large sample to be able to produce stable parameters, so that modern theoretical concepts cannot be applied at the classroom level. And second, the software is required computer program reliable to perform accurate parameter estimation. And this is the research that we use. There is an article called Analisis Butir Soal dengan pendekatan klasikal test teori dan item response teori oleh Vivin Mistiani. Okay, I think that's all from our presentation. Thank you for your attention. Hope this presentation will help you in understanding the material. Thank you and see you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.